Our new sponsor, Better, is a fast-growing daily fantasy sports app. When you sign up using promo code PLAYBOOK in all caps, you receive a free $10 and a 100% deposit match up to $25. Welcome to the NBA Hangout presented by Playbook Sports. I'm your host, Brandon. With me this week is Franky. Franky, how are you?
Doing well, Brandon. Thanks for having me on.
No problem. Thanks for coming, man. This is a last-minute thing. I had a little cancellation. We have to reschedule with my co-host, but we have you in here to pinch it, and I'm glad that you're able to make it out, man. So how you been?
I've been well. I love hearing I'm the first choice of the night. No, I'm just kidding. I was pleasantly surprised. I really enjoyed my first time potting with you last year, right before the finals, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's a pleasure to pot again with you, my friend. How are you?
Oh man, I'm doing good. I'm doing as good as I can be. And yeah. Last time was a blast, so I know this one's gonna be just as good, and I'm excited to do it again. I know you just got finished doing a podcast on like all the FBI stuff, the breakdown and stuff. So I think today we're gonna touch a bit about that. Have some opening night thoughts. This is our first podcast of the season, so we gotta do a little bit of a preview, a little bit of what's going on, and just a little bit of it all. So hope you're all ready for it.
Yeah, let's go.
I guess to start, we'll start with the FBI stuff. So I know you just finished talking about that. So Terry Rozier and Chauncy Billups headline I guess we can call it like a gambling bust, an NBA gambling bust done through the FBI. So Portland Trail Blazers head coach Chauncy Billups and Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier arrested Thursday along with 30 other people accused of participating in schemes involving illegal sports betting and rigged poker games backed by the mafia, authorities say. So I guess Rozier's cases were, or his allegations is that there was a game when he was on Charlotte where he was hurt. He let some people around him know, and they placed all the bets on his unders, and he left the game early. So FBI flagged that to the NBA. NBA saw no wrongdoings with it. FBI continued their investigation on it and found some wrongdoings on Rozier's part. So today he was arrested. So I guess thoughts on that being the Heat representative here.
Well, I mean, it's on the next chapter in this latest Terry Rozier experience. Obviously this, we all woke to this news. This was very early this morning, and it was surprising. I didn't think they were going to like fully investigate this further. Obviously found some more smoke and fire, it seems, but we have to see how much of this is a legitimate investigation and not a way for the current administration to set their feet in and make some noise and attack a league that has historically been against this current administration, as well as we have to wait for what to come of it, because like you said, the NBA did their own investigation, found nothing wrong, found him fine, and we found out more today that I believe it was Brian Windhorst said on the Hoop Collective that they kind of temporarily suspended him at the end of the 2023 season to investigate him. And I looked it up. He did miss the final 8 games so of that season. So it could have very well been true. We don't know. We have to wait for more information. But more so, I'm just shocked, kind of waiting for more information to come out and see what becomes of it. Because as a Heat fan, I was glad he didn't play yesterday, and I kind of just want this distraction to go away and and to be able to move forward.
Yeah, because I guess from the Heat's perspective, you just dealt with the whole Jimmy thing last year. You just had to go through that. You felt like you're entering this season with like a clear slate, fresh minds and all that, positivity entering this season from a Heat perspective. And then this is just like dropped on you first day. And I kind of have to go with your point there of it being like, it did feel a little bit performative, this whole ordeal, because this could have been done a couple. I would guess that this could have been done a couple of days ago before the season started.
It could have been. They said they arrested him in shackles. And
that just seems a little like over the top. Even the way they had their little they had the little press conference today. Some of the verbiage that was used during that press conference just felt a little like harsh. And coming from Rozier's lawyer as well put a statement out saying that like if they were updated on this information, Rozier would have gladly turned himself in.
Yeah.
So there was no need for all like the shackles and carrying them into court in the fashion that they did. So yeah, it does feel a little bit of performative. It does feel like they might have had a little bit more of a smoking gun than the NBA had. So we do have to wait and see to see how this really plays out with that and with the Chauncy Billups one. With the Chauncy Billups one was just a little like wild to me with the
poker game.
With the poker game. So yeah, so Chauncy Billups is allegedly involved in rigging poker games that went beyond just counting cards. This is by Rachel Nichols, which included poker chip trays with hidden cameras, special contact lenses to read pre-marked cards, and X-ray tables that read cards while they were facing down, which just seems all extreme and lots of scheming going on over there. It would seem. So what were your first thoughts on that case too when that came out?
I mean, personally, like hearing the details, hearing Damon Jones is also involved.
Damon Jones as well.
I was I was laughing at Damon Jones because he, my first experience as a Heat fan for a really good team was the 04-05 Heat team with Damon Jones was the starting point guard. So I just always just remember that guy as the goofiest guy on the team that could shoot but had the biggest fucking head I've ever seen. But the tortilla soup with J.R. Smith was the other time.
The soup. Yeah,
it was LeBron dunking on him as well.
Yeah, LeBron, the crazy dunk.
Yeah, it's like one of his best dunks of all time. That the Chauncy thing. Once I saw the evidence of the tables and all that, I was a little blown away, honestly, by the immense amount of effort that went into throwing these games. And I also didn't know that the FBI was like cared about poker games like that one. I really wanted to hear a little bit more about by somebody who's
why they dug
informed.
into that.
Obviously if I if you and me play a game and I get I scheme you out of something, like how much money has to be involved? Is it that alert case?
Yeah.
Like what happened there? Like there has to be more information here.
Yeah, it sounded like it's really stemmed from the fact that it had to be connected with the mafia. Like I think if that wasn't the case, I don't think because we hear all the time that like NBA players be playing games on planes, all this type of stuff for like small wages. Small wages, I in quotes for them, small wages for me would not be small wages at all. But we hear about that. Yeah, exactly. But we hear from that all the time, so it's like not unusual to hear about poker games. But I think the fact that it was in connection with the mafias that really set them off, which is just wild. It's like from I saw another report that basically stated that that the mafia was using Chauncy Billups as like a high profile guy to attract more high profile people to come to these poker games to help I guess rig it on that level for them as well. So that's just a real bizarre one too. I think his attorney came out as well and said they're willing to fight this case to tooth and nail. So they're going to fight this one hard, just the same way that Terry's going to fight this one hard. So we got to wait back, see how this actually plays out. Both individuals have been suspended for the time being, not suspended, put on, I believe, leave for the time being until this case gets sorted out. And NBA says they're complying and all that good stuff. Any last thoughts on that before we talk about basketball?
Yeah, I think a lot of people just have to kind of like wait for the facts, like we talked about. I think it's real easy to get lost in the jokes and the comedies and stuff. Like we saw Kevin Love made an Instagram post about joking about his former teammate Terry Rozier being involved. And he said he deleted it like just a few minutes ago, it seems. And after speaking to Damian Lillard about this is a serious thing about these people's lives and stuff, like, I've gotten my own share of jokes off about this. And I told the MHB that, the shackles, he wore shackles when he was wearing the Hornets jersey. It's not a big deal. But, like we do have to remember these are, men of color. And their lives are affected by this. These are, as far as we know, nonviolent crimes. They're immoral, they're illegal, and they deserve punishment for that. But for the amount of stuff that's going on about this, I think it was a little overblown.
Yeah, yeah.
And it makes news because it's gambling, and gambling always makes news in sports. But we, just have to let some facts come out. Don't
Yeah.
overreact. Don't laugh too hard at these people expense. Don't attack them personally.
Yeah.
We let's wait for some stuff to come out.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's the right way to take this because we always, especially in this age of social media, we're always quick to get our first takes off and have like an opinion off. But it's often it does well to just sit back and wait and get the complete facts,
Mm-hmm.
straight. Moving on to the NBA. So opening night happened 2 nights ago. Yeah, 2 nights ago, 3 nights ago when you guys probably hear this. With some exciting games. So we had the first night in particular. I really want to touch on that first night. Where you had the OKC Houston game and the Lakers Warriors game, because I think we saw a lot of things from all these teams, which I think are going to be high profile teams for the Western Conference this year, or they expect to be. At least the Lakers will want to be. We'll see if they'll be able to do it, but that's where they expect to be or want to be. But starting with the OKC and the Rockets, Kevin Durant's debut, he faces his old team. I think it's about 3 or 4 olds now. With OKC, they're booing him all game. It seemed like it was within fun, like he's booing them back and had fun with it. Shea put on a performance as Shea does. They were shorthanded with J-Dub. Sengun in particular had a massive game with 39, 11, and 7. What were your thoughts on just Kevin Durant's debut, OKC, how they looked in their first game after winning a championship, and the new look Rockets?
The Rockets, I felt like they were definitely missing Fred VanVleet with his injury. So like I'm still kind of giving them some room to adjust. Kevin Durant's one of the easiest players to adjust to because of the way he gets his scoring. He can catch it easy in the flow of the offense, let everybody flow. But I was mainly watching the Rockets about Sengun and Amen Thompson, like how they would take that next leap. With Jalen Green and Dylan Brooks out of the way, and a lot more of a talent and easier co-star in Kevin Durant. Sengun obviously played insanely well. Continues to impress me, and him playing the 4 with Adams has really helped unlock him.
Yeah.
At times, and he still has to hold his own because Kevin Durant does need to play some 3. He played the most 3 that he's played in a few years.
Oh, right. They usually move him to the 4 nowadays. Yeah.
Since the Achilles injuries, and we saw Kevin Durant fouled out in this first game, which, I mean, to be fair, they played 47 minutes because of overtime. So
yeah.
that's a lot to ask of an old man and Kevin Durant. But
yeah.
Amen, I'm very excited to see him. He's one of my favorite players to watch. Don't like the 7-3 attempts. I want to see him get downhill a little bit more, keep passing the ball. 5 assists, 4 turnovers. You want a little bit better efficiency, but the game was great. OKC is still a force to be reckoned with, and I'm very curious to follow both teams this season. What'd you think?
Yeah, no, same thing. Like, I think the thing that stood out to me in particular on OKC side was just the defense. The defense, it just reminded me of like the playoffs, but in particular Shea's on-ball defense just looked a little more spry, a little bit more engaged than he did at times in the playoffs last year. I know it's fresh season, so he has the energy to do so now. Even though without J-Dub, he's asked to do a lot on offense again. I think even tonight he took about like 26 or 27 shots. So I think that game's still going on though. So like he still has to do a lot offensively, but his defense, especially on ball, he just seemed really engaged, and he actually seemed like more of a force on that end than in past. We know him for his help defense, his he could block shots on the weak side. He can poke his arms. He has good length for a guard, so he's able to like disrupt things that way. But it was more so he seemed to be attacking on the defensive end in a way that he just didn't really do so much last year. So I want to see if that's a theme that continues throughout the year, if that's just like a first game ring night, you have the energy to do so type of thing.
Yeah, he had the 4 stocks, which I believe he averaged close to like a block and a steal or 2 steals a game. So he had 2 steals, 2 blocks, filled it up right like that. But yeah, like I agree. Like it's something that he did a good amount during the regular season, but I want to see more of it. Like Shea's a really fun player to watch. The talent is tantalizing. and he's so smooth with it, and like it's fun. Like a lot of people, I get why people don't like him. I
Yeah,
get
for
like
sure.
people don't watching him, but like there's a craft to his game that I
Yeah.
can really appreciate.
There's like one of the so he had the step back in the clutch situation against
Mm.
Amen Thompson, and then he had one where he kind of like faked a step back, like he was going into it, and his knee just like slightly shifted, like he was going to do a step back, and then he pulled forward, and like I think he got like a closer jumper, stuff like that. It's just like to watch it in real time and just think like if I was even to attempt that, my knee would just probably snap in half. Like it's just to see how incredible and how low he gets to the ground. It's just like yeah, those little things is what I look for with Shea. Obviously, the foul baiting, that's going to be a thing.
Yeah.
But as it is with any star player, um, um, as one that we're going to talk about now with Jimmy Butler, which I wouldn't say is so much as foul baiting, but I would say his is more of like he just takes a lot of punishment when he gets to the basket. But yes, Warriors and Lakers had their game as well. Warriors win pretty much comfortably, 119-109. There's like some tense moments there, but Jimmy came up clutch in those moments. So you had Steph doing Steph things throughout, but Luka near triple double, 40-point triple double with 43, 12, and 9. Thoughts on that matchup?
I think Luca looks slim. That's
He
what
did look
everyone's
slim.
been saying, but like yeah, it was interesting, especially because no LeBron, which he's still missing time. So it was interesting to see how they respond to more of the ball in Luca and Austin's hands and decision making. Still not super confident in this Lakers team, even when LeBron gets back. But those two are still really good. Reeves is a really solid player. Jimmy does not surprise me. Anything he does not surprise me, good or bad. But like the 16 free throws, like that's awesome. Like it's great that Steph has a co-star that can take over and be the number
Yeah,
one on nights like that, on both ends. And like I'm really curious to watching this Warriors team. I still think they need a couple moves, a couple of young guys. I'm curious about the fit with Horford and Kaminga, but
yeah,
I think Kaminga was one of the bigger stories with
yeah,
the little things he was finally doing, the
yeah,
6 assists, like
yeah. Yeah, it's everything Steve Kerr has been asking for like his
mhm,
entire tenure there.
literally.
So it looks good from that perspective. He's gonna have to do it. Like he wants to get paid, or he wants to move to a team where that they will pay him. And in either situation, he's gonna have to show that he can do these things and be either a role player and take on some burden at times as well. Because Jimmy's gonna miss some games, so he's gonna have those opportunities. He just has to stay with it, as Spo would probably say, like stay the course.
Yeah.
And things and good things should happen for him. Yeah, it is very interesting to see the dynamic with Jimmy and Steph. Like we're so used to Steph having his co-star being just a shooter, and it's nice to have someone who's like a straight guy that gets to the basket, can get 16 free throws. Like not many people that play with Steph get 16 free throws. Even Durant wasn't much of a foul getter in the same way that Jimmy is, or can dominate the ball on ball possessions the way that Jimmy can. So I think it's an interesting dynamic that way, because you have Jimmy's gravity just going to the rim, especially when they do like their little pick and roll too, going to the rim, and it has to be respected, and that just frees up stuff for like Steph and other things, Buddy Hield, other stuff on the perimeter, to happen, which is cool to see. See if this can translate for the rest of the season. Yeah, I am worried too with like some of their depth issues. Like Horford being like one of their main bigs really does worry me, even though he is good, but he is old at this
Mhm.
point now. Like he's really getting up there. He contemplated retirement this year, so like I don't know how much you can really rely on that. If Draymond goes down with the injury, like it's looking really bleak for their front court. So I would be more comfortable if they did one or two more moves just to tighten that ship.
Yeah, like if they do move Kaminga, they have to get a few pieces back. Like
Yeah.
they can't miss on that trade, otherwise, the run with Steph might be over.
And we've said it plenty of times, and then they find a way to surprise us. But
That's true.
it would really be looking not good if they miss on that Kaminga trade, because Kaminga, even the draft pick of Kaminga, needed to kind of hit to extend Steph's window, and it's kind of done that, barely done that. So yeah, if they do end up moving him, they're gonna have to make sure they get the proper pieces to fill out this roster, to compete in the West, which I think we could talk about now. This Western Conference, which appears to be super loaded. Do you have like any favorites to win out this West? Like, are we just going with OKC, or do you have another team kind of upsetting that hold that OKC has at the top?
I think OKC has great depth, and the thing that works for OKC besides their youth and now championship experience is that they have so much ammunition that if they need to make a trade, they have so many extra
Yeah,
players to move. They have so much young guys with a lot of talent. Nikola Topic barely plays for them, and he was considered to be one of the better prospects of last
yeah.
year's draft. AJ Mitchell gave them 15 points in 16 minutes last night. The first night, like they have a lot of talent, even with J Dub missing. So I still think they're the favorite. I still give them the edge in as the overall seed in the playoffs, though. I am a
Mm,
big fan of what the Denver Nuggets did
yeah.
this offseason, and I think they've really focused. I still have questions about their coach, but
He's
it,
fresh. Yeah.
he's fresh. He's fresh, but he did hold his own very well against a really tough OKC team. But they just and it always comes down to health with them,
Mhm.
especially for Jamal Murray, who can be a superstar in the playoffs, or he can be a little bit of a Cinderella after midnight.
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
but they're the monsters of the league, the East of the West, excuse me. Um, Everybody else is going to be tough or kind of interesting. I'm going to watch a lot of Spurs games, but I think the overall, like as the real top seeded contenders, I think it's those two.
Yeah, I think I'd have to go there too. Minnesota is also an interesting one. You know, they did
Mm.
make the conference finals last year, but they didn't make too many moves this offseason. They kind of stayed the same. They didn't do anything to really, bolster that. I would have liked them to really bolster that guard depth to help.
What do you think
I don't know.
about them starting DiVincenzo instead of Conley?
See, that one is, I don't know. Like Conley is getting up there too. Like we talked
Yeah,
about Horford with age, so Conley is getting up there. So I guess this is inevitable. But I don't. I like Dante more of an off-ball secondary guy. I don't love him being your primary guy. I know they probably envision Ant doing some of that primary stuff as well, and they're sharing responsibilities in that sense. But I like kind of Conley being there as like the floor general to just kind of ease things at times, kept
yeah.
things cool. I'm not sure Dante does that. I feel like Dante needs to play with a guard like that to really make him at his best. But I think defensively, for what they try to do defensively and stuff like that, it'll work out. He does play well with Ant, so I need to see more about like how I need to see more of how it does work out. But I'm not super sold on it. I think that's why I'm not
Mhm.
super sold on Minnesota this year either, just because of that. I believe Ant will take another step forward, but just the supporting cast troubles me a little bit.
Yeah, because
Um,
it's like full disclosure, I didn't get to watch that game or the highlights. I'm just box score watching
mhm.
strictly, and we now know they were facing a arrested coach, a future arrested coach,
The
and
coach, yeah.
but yeah, like DiVincenzo, 6 turnovers on that
Yeah,
the night he's for first starts. Julius Randle 6 assists, no turnovers. So and a lot of the playoffs we saw was mostly Julius
it was
or
yeah.
Ant. So I can understand some of that. But you're really banking on both of those guys making great decisions consistently. I think another move is necessary. I think
Mhm.
they um, have some pieces to kind of play around with. I think Rudy is helps them a lot, but he might be expendable at this point for them
Yeah, it feels like
with
he's
how
reaching
much.
the end.
Yeah, because they've relied on Nas a lot,
Yeah.
and it might just be time to try to cash that chip if you can, and see if you can remaneuver and get a couple pieces. But I feel like that's what we're saying for a lot of teams.
Yeah, yeah. That's the league now because we're in this parity era. So we're gonna
Yeah,
have a lot of these teams are gonna have will be one piece away from truly being a complete full team that could really run things. So it's gonna be like a lot of these teams we're gonna say one more piece, one more piece, one more piece, and that I think that's the beauty of the NBA right now. We don't really we've had different champions every year pretty much for the last like 5 years. So that's just that's just the way it's gonna be. Just taking a quick look at this OKC Pacers box score because you talked about AJ Mitchell. He had 26 tonight.
mm,
Shea
I
had
love that
53
guy.
tonight.
Dang.
Hardenstein had 14 boards. But yeah, double overtime game again for OKC. They pull it off 139, 135.
I
Siakam
mean,
had a
I'll,
big one
I'll
as
I'll
well,
make this
32.
hot take, spur of the moment. if OKC plays every game in overtime, they won't win the championship.
Yeah, I think I can go with that one. More on the West. You talked about the Spurs being an exciting watch and the team that you're going to watch throughout the year. I think that's going to be one of my teams too. But question, between Spurs and the Pelicans, who do you think can finish higher this year? Is it automatically Spurs, or do we think healthy Zion, skinny Zion elevates that team with the Trey Murphy that's healthy as well? He came into the season last year with a banged up knee. The addition of Jeremiah Fears, Poole. Do we think that this collection can make a run at maybe a play-in or a playoff spot, or do we see the Spurs taking that spot over them?
I think both. If they're both healthy, they both have a strong case. I think that's the biggest question with New Orleans, specifically Zion. But I think Zion has far and away proven on the court that guy is a monster. That guy is an absolute monster, all NBA, top second or first team contender. Like he's that good and tough to stop, but it's just can he stay healthy? They have pieces around them that I was a big fan of them getting Kevon Looney as a depth piece for them, for like a professional big man to do the dirty work. I think those guys are undervalued for good teams and stuff. And I really love Jeremiah Fears. I liked a lot of Derek Queen. Big fan of a lot of their young guys and stuff. But like it remains to be seen for them. I think San Antonio has a few more pieces I'm a little bit more confident of, including De'Aaron Fox when he comes back. But Wemby's a complete beast. Wemby also does have to kind of stay healthy as well.
Yeah, he has to prove that as well.
Yeah, Dylan Harper was one of my favorites in the draft, so I love the spot he's in. But Castle looked really good, and
Castle did that first game.
We'll see what becomes of them. I wouldn't be surprised if they both made it and somebody else like drops out of the West.
Yeah, I could see that too. I'm higher. I think I'm higher on the Pelicans this year, just because I think I have a bit more faith in what Zion can do this year. I think he's committed to it. We'll see. Like anything can kind of happen, but I feel good about what they have built in there. I think Brandon Ingram, as much of a great player he is, like a top player, I think he's great for the Raptors right now.
Yeah.
But I just felt like that pairing didn't mesh as well as it could have been. You always need a guy like Trey Murphy to be like Zion's Robin, just the shooting and what he could provide there. It's always what you've looked for. It puts Herb Jones in a better position as well. I feel like they've asked him to do a lot more in the past, especially offensively, which wasn't his comfort zone. This allows him to be more of that defensive anchor that we know him to be. And if he can stay health, if he can stay healthy as well, he could provide a lot for this team. But yeah, I'm high on the Pelicans. The Spurs, I really do like them. Like I really do like this team. I like that they didn't give up too much to get anybody. I like that they didn't throw anything for KD. I like that they kept what they kept and continue to grow what they have. I am curious in the future what Fox's role is going to be, because it does look like Castle and Harper together, and that those two guard positions is going to be a tandem to deal with. I wonder if he's longed for that Spurs team, and if we see some movement on that as early as like this offseason with him.
Yeah, that was my question as well when they got the number 2, because I thought there was even a chance they might try to get some more assets and trade back, and let somebody else take Harper, since they have Castle. Castle's wants to be a 1, and he's not really associated until his shot gets better. He went 1 for 3 first game, 5 of 10 from the line. It's still probably easier to play him on ball than off ball, but he also had 5 turnovers. So there's a little bit of give and take from it. I like Castle a lot, but Harper's there, a solid first game, 15 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 turnovers, rookie guy.
Rookie stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. But, for Fox, if they hit, he might be an expendable piece for them. If they're preferring that, it's hard to play all 3 of those guys together because they're so small. There's no guy that's you'll play Castle as a 3, and he's
that's a super. Yeah.
He's 6'5". That's asking a lot.
His advantage is being like a point guard and having that size as a point guard.
Yeah, getting to play against smaller guys.
Yeah,
and stuff. So that's where some of it you might have to play around with it. I do really worry about their shooting
Hmm.
because they put up a lot of points. 125 points on the road is impressive, but they only hit 8 threes.
Yeah,
So
that's not.
it's hard to count on that night in and night out.
Yeah, and you're only getting to that 120 because of Wemby's performance. To be honest, like he had
Yeah,
40, 15, and 3. Like that's why you're getting to that
21
one.
shots. He's insane.
He his game from like his rookie year to now is just transformed immensely. Like we heard all the stories about like what he's done over the offseason with the Monks, KG, Hakeem, just taking in knowledge from like wherever he can. It seemed like to add to his game, and you were seeing it pay off in like real time. Like we saw him do dream shakes in preseason. We're seeing now he's doing like step back, like tween step backs. Effortlessly, and like some of like these other baskets he was getting, like he had like a turnaround jumper where like he caught in like mid high post, caught it looked like something like Jordan would do. They caught it, rolled off his shoulder into a fadeaway cleanly over a double team, like it was nothing. It's just like some of these stuff that we're seeing him do now, just makes you wonder like what the future is gonna hold for this kid because it is quite incredible to watch.
Yeah, because well, honestly, watching him the last 2 years, I was getting kind of frustrated with him because he was moving away from the basket more,
Yeah,
and look, if you're Kevin Durant and you're shooting it at that clip, I get it.
fine, yeah,
I get it. But like Wemby, and like it's not that I don't want Wemby to shoot threes. I want him to have that in his bag, but I want that to be an accessory,
yes,
not his bag. I want
yes,
him to be going inside. I want him to be more Giannis,
yeah,
and him playing the five more has opened up the floor for him. He's able to attack these lanes. He took 2 threes yesterday.
yeah,
I love that. I
yeah,
love
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Like it's not going to be an every night thing. There's going to be nights he's going to chuck him up. He's going to take like 5 to 8.
yeah, yeah.
But I want the majority of
The
his game
focus.
inside
which
attacking.
which is what it looked to be. Like it looked like everything, even the threes that he did take, came off of him attacking and then having to step back to shoot the three. It wasn't
Right.
his first idea to shoot the three. It was like, I'm trying to get to the basket. Oh, that's cut off. I still have my three I can fall back on. Yeah, I would say like last year and the year before, it was frustrating because he would do a lot of like these transition threes. He would just come, pull up, shoot a three. And it's like you don't need to do, like you are so gifted and talented and tall and big. You don't have to do that at all. But yeah, it seems like this year his focus seems to be no, let me try to get as close to the basket, use my footwork. I'm seeing a lot more of his footwork this in these like 5 games, like preseason and now, than I saw all of his like last year. Like,
Mhm.
and it's just like, yeah, great to watch. I think that before the season started, I didn't have a podcast. We didn't pod, but
Mhm.
I would have chosen Wemby to be my MVP. That's where I would have put money. I know, like Shea has been the favorite. Jokic is always going to be a favorite. Giannis too with his two-way play. But I just felt like going into this year, Wemby was only going to get better. His two-way ability, he's gonna be a force on the defensive end. He had 3 blocks yesterday. We're going to see some games where he has like six blocks, 5 blocks, 4 blocks. Probably going to average around 3 blocks a game. Going to have a couple steals a game. So when you just look at this, what the stat line is going to be, his passing is also improved from like his first year as well. So those assists are going to get higher as well. He won't have as many playmaking opportunities because he has good guards. He has better guards now.
Yeah.
But he's still gonna get his assists. He's gonna have the ball a lot. So when you break down like what his stat profile should look like by the end of the year, if he can stay healthy, again, big if. I just felt as if San Antonio can get themselves into like a top six-ish position, it would be kind of undeniable to not have him in that conversation, I would think.
Yeah, and especially because it would be like his moment. Like he's here, he's in the playoffs, he's taking this team with that starting a Champagne brother to the playoffs. So uh, those like to Champagne, a good solid player. But it's just yeah, I think it's kind of like been destined. I think even more so than like any of the other hype prospects like Luca and stuff like that. Like Wemby was the guy that everyone was tanking for. Wemby
For a
one
while. Yeah.
nobody had a doubt that it was going to be the number one pick was going to be Wemby.
Yeah.
So like I see that. I see all that hype that around him. So I would not be surprised if he got it. I just need him to be healthy. And I think
Yeah.
they also have, they sneaky have a good amount of pieces too from the what's this guy's name? The DeJounte Murray trade.
Yeah, the Murray trade. They gave them some
They
stuff.
have Atlanta's pick this year. They could still
Yeah, which is
make some
outrageous, man.
trades. They have Fox, they have Castle, they have Harper. If that they decide they want to strike now, they can make some moves and
Yeah.
be aggressive.
Yeah, no, they're in a pretty perfect position, as good of a position as you'd want to be, in the NBA at this point. They have the young pieces. They just maybe need to get a vet or two just to solid things up. But they had Chris Paul last year. He was in that
Yeah.
locker room. He was there. Um, yeah. I'm really liking what I'm seeing from San Antonio. Interested to see how that pans out. Anything else on the West? Any like surprising drop offs that you think might happen, uh, or is that pretty much good enough for them for now?
For the West, I think I'm very curious about the Clippers. All of their Kawhi stuff
Mm.
coming through, left me definitely curious about that side of the bracket. Uh, but as far as like big time contenders, like I think Golden State is still sneaky. But like it's definitely top two class of
Mm.
OKC, and then the Nuggets, and then everybody else. I'm gonna be watching Memphis, see where they're at, see how they're starting. Houston's gonna be tough,
Mm.
but a lot of these teams have been waiting their turn to strike, and now they're ready. And like I could see a few different teams make a move that really shifts the landscape and vaults them into that upper echelon. Or injuries, injuries always have to be
Oh,
accounted for.
yeah, exactly. I think, yeah, Memphis is a team that I think I'm gonna have to keep a close eye on this year because I think, in particular for Ja, I think this is a big year for Ja.
Yeah.
He had a rough year last year. Last couple years, I would say, have been pretty rough for him, whether it be injuries, suspensions, or just like underwhelming play at times. He's had a rough go at it, and he was a number 2 pick, second to Zion. And we're starting to forget that. I think we're starting to forget like that. I guess aura as the kids will call it, that he used to bring when he would come to a game. Like you want to go and watch Ja. Like he was a high ticket guy, and it feels like that's kind of dropped off a bit. So I think this year for Memphis, they cleared out Bane. They've done the soft rebuild thing that they're trying out. Health has always been an issue with them, with Jaren Jackson Jr. and Ja always being injured almost all the time. It feels like. So yeah, I want to see how they're able to pan out this season. See if Ja can take a step forward, and really remind us of why he was pegged as one of those next stars.
Yeah, their big room is depleted
Yeah.
as well. Jackson, Triple J has to do a better job rebounding and defending
Would
without
he ever?
fouling.
Yeah.
He fouled out in 27 minutes
Oh my goodness.
last game. Had 8 rebounds. With eight
uh,
rebounds in
that's
27
that's pretty
minutes.
good for him.
That's
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 pretty
good
good
for
for him.
him.
Yeah,
So I'm
yeah.
not mad at that. But the 5
Fouls,
turnovers and
man.
6 fouls in that time is crazy. He just needs to do a better job. And I'm curious on them. They also have some moves to make. I was a big fan of the Cedric Howard pickup, and he had a nice debut. So
Mhm.
I'm gonna get a better look at them tomorrow when they face Miami,
Mhm.
so I can see a little bit better. But like, yeah, there's a lot of teams that have some needs that I hope, like last year was kind of a dud for the trade market and the offseason
Mhm.
overall. I feel like teams were a little safer,
They
and
were
I
very safe.
and I feel like some teams are gonna be forced to make some moves. Looking at my own Miami Heat team, I'm hoping they're sellers and they can you know reap the rewards of selling in a buyer's market.
No Tyler extension, so that's now
That's
looks
on
like
the
it's
table as
officially
well.
officially on
No,
the table. Yeah, yeah. I think
yeah,
by trade deadline, like he's gonna have another trade deadline where his name's gonna be talked about a lot.
yeah.
Par for the course for him. But talking about the East though, like where do we see? It's very open, very open
Right.
this year. Your number one team. It's probably going to be the Cavs.
I agree.
That will be your projected number one team. They took a loss to the Knicks last night, but that's okay. That's early on. But I guess yeah, number one team was projected to be the Cavs. But after that, what do you make of this conference?
I think the Knicks have earned their spot up top, which disgusts me to say. Uh, but no, respect to them.
Yeah,
They've
yeah.
built a good foundation, and I think Brown is a great Mike Brown is a great coach for them. Very curious of how they look. I think they have to figure something out about the Cat and Brunson duo. I think they need some either another big to continue starting with them. I don't know
Yeah.
if Mitchell Robinson will be able to stay healthy.
Oh man.
So they have their own questions. Cleveland has to stay healthy as well. They've had their issues with Darius Garland, Jared Allen, as well. Donovan Mitchell looked great the first night. Had that like 21 point
Yeah.
third. I think it was the third quarter, second quarter. I don't remember what quarter it was.
Yeah.
But 21 points in a quarter is insane. And they're super talented. I like their depth, especially when they get Strus back. So Cleveland is going to be really tough. But after that, I think Cleveland and Knicks, if they're not in the top two, like they should be disappointed with themselves. After that, I think Orlando. I'm very high on Orlando, especially once they sort their rotation out and get their all their shooting in, like and get some rhythm in. I liked a lot of what I saw from them the first night. Detroit made some noise last year, and I think they're ready to make some more noise, and I'm rooting for it. Big fan of Cade. I think that's the top four, and then everybody else, we'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, it's literally we'll see. Like it could be the Hawks. Like I do like what the Hawks have been trying to build with like Jalen Johnson, Zakari. Like I like that core there. I like it with Okongwu. I liked what they tried to build with it.
Yeah.
Okongwu hasn't panned out as much as I thought he would.
Me too.
But I do like what they've tried to build with that team. Adding KP there as well. Should bolster their lineup as well.
I like the Nikhil Alexander Walker.
Nikhil, exactly. Well. Yeah, that looks like all those seem like some good winning moves that should elevate them into a playoff position. Philadelphia, I got no idea what to do with that team. Boston, I feel like is going to sneak up on some teams. I feel like they won a championship not too long ago. They still have that hunger, even though they're missing Tatum. I don't think they care that they're missing Tatum. Yeah. They very much have the mentality that they want to still be an elite team. They're not looking to really tank. They might tank just due to not having the talent. But I don't think they're going to go out easy at all. I think they're going to be fighting all these games, and they're going to, especially Jaylen Brown looks like he's going to have a chip on his shoulder as well. Mazzulla, as their head coach, is a psychopath and a guy that will look to make sure to instill some motivation to keep them going throughout the season, even when it looks kind of lull at points. So I think they're a sneaky team that could sneak into the playoffs this year, whether they're looking to or not. Raptors as well, I think have a chance, with all their defenders, their length, missing guard play, similar to the Rockets. They're just missing like a guard that I feel confident in to really run things. But I think there's some room for there. The Heat. So for the Heat, how do you feel their outlook's going to look like for this season? Do you see them as a playoff team, play-in team, or just out of everything completely?
I think they're going to miss the playoffs. I thought, to be frank, I thought they were going to lose the play-in last year and miss the playoffs. So I was almost right, but I was wrong at the end. But I think they're in this in between where they know that they should lean youth, but they don't want to give the keys to the youth. Whether there's points to be made about Ware and Nico and these guys earning it. But I think there's also guys in the way. Like the suspected closing lineup is Wiggins, Powell, Hero, and Bam, and the fifth guy is going to be up for discussion most of the time, and it's probably going to be Davion a lot of times. But those guys, there's no youth under there. Tyler turns 26 this year. Like he's not a part of the youth anymore. Davion's like 25, 26 too.
Like 28, 29.
So there's no youth movement if you're not even closing games with the youth. Ware played 14 minutes. Like I think they're I don't think Spo and what the front office was talking about with youth movement were aligned. Like they didn't clear out space. They weren't able to get a Wiggins trade done. They brought in Powell.
I think that's the one. I think when and if they can move it, and pains me to say, because I like Wiggins personally, Toronto guy. But I think that's the one that if they're able to move Wiggins, this looks a lot like it makes a lot more sense. The Heat roster makes a lot more sense. But the fact that they didn't really go out and really search for that, it's kind of like they just waited for the Lakers. Again, waiting. It kind of felt like they're kind of like waiting for the Lakers to make an offer that they would like and take, which is on one hand is not the worst thing to do, because you had all the position power in that situation. But on the other hand, as you said they wanted to clear out space for their youth. This was an easy way to kind of do that. You weren't going to play Rui. You probably would have rerouted him. So you would still have that wing position open for Jovic, Hami, whoever you wanted it to be. That would have been fine. But I think that is the trade that they kind of need to make by the trade deadline to really make this about the next generation of Heat players.
Yeah, like at this point, I'm at the point as my fandom that I don't care what they do in regards to like who they keep. If they didn't wanted to sell everybody and start completely over, I wouldn't care. Like
We've seen this team for so long.
Yeah, like I'm kind of tired of it. I'm tired of talking about it. I'm not bringing up trade speculation anymore on certain guys that we know they don't want to trade.
Exactly.
So, like I'm tired of talking about those guys, and I just want to see them like actually do something. I don't, I tweeted right before the game yesterday, 35-47, and
I've seen that. Yeah,
that was my prediction for the season. And some people were like, "That's too high." Still, like, you want to be lower, but excuse me. But I think they're gonna lie to themselves and they get a little 10-15 game cushion because Tyler's going to be out, and then it's about reacclimating into the lineup. Then you got to see, and pretty soon it's going to be 30-40 games, and if I don't think they'll realize it quickly enough.
Yeah, they take
they'll
too
win
long
enough.
on these things.
Yeah, they'll win enough. They don't. It's the answer staring at them in the face, and they don't want to say what it needs to be done. And I have no confidence in them at all. Like they said youth movement all off season, and the first game, their untouchables, two prospects played under 40 minutes combined.
And that, from a Heat perspective, was my frustrations with the whole KD thing. It's like, okay, if you don't want KD and you're going to invest in saying that you're keeping Ware over KD, that must mean the whole offseason I'm saying that must mean you're starting Ware because you're not getting KD. KD, I know he's old, but he's still a top 15 player in the league. You do not have one of those right now. So where is the cost for that? I know you have your high hopes on what he could become and all that type of stuff, but if he is the cost for that, you make that trade and you continue being this winning team and you continue trying to compete in that way, if that is your identity. But now if you're going to say you're the youth movement, the youth team, then yeah, you have to start Ware and Jovic and clear out Wiggins, because that is what you want to do. You want to develop those guys, then that is the way to do it. And it's the clearest, easiest way for you to do it. Albeit moving Tyler, which that's just not. I still think he's signing an extension next offseason, just with the way that the Heat do things. Too. Yeah, like I didn't expect them to give him a contract extension here because they don't usually do that for like max, quote unquote, max players, players that think of themselves as maxes. They usually wait to the offseason to do that. So I just figured that they weren't going to do the extension now and they'll do it later, type of thing.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I think they. Like we talked about a lot of teams that, they need one more piece. They need two more pieces. Like if the Heat really took advantage of that, they could use the deadline, use all these teams. And I got Norman Powell with an expiring. I got Wiggins with one more year left. I got cap space to offset and be involved in 3-team trades.
Yeah,
they can make moves.
Yep.
They wanted to blow expiring. It up. That Rozier's expiring. They have trade exceptions from the Jimmy trade, from the Duncan trade, from other trades. They have young guys that can be sweeteners. They have almost all their picks back. Like they could turn this around, but they don't. They've never operated.
No, they don't.
They've never operated like that. And it's and here's the thing about like the franchises. Like when you see other teams get do things a certain way, they're always doing it for their jobs. They're always doing it for a GM. You hear GMs and presidents,
whether right or wrong. Yeah, it's always because they're trying to like, I got to do this to protect my job. Like I got to do something.
These guys are in their spot. They're not going to get fired. None of them are going to lose their jobs, and they're I think
Complacent. Yeah.
they're complacent with doing it their way and not doing it anyway. Our way worked. Our way
Mm.
worked. Why am I going to change things? Like, I'm just tired of getting my hopes up.
No, you
that
can't. You can't at this
it's
point.
I
Yeah,
say it. I tell our good friend John Jablanca. I tell him every time he's him or somebody else believes. Oh man, I wanted to see it. It's Lucy and Charlie Brown with the football.
yeah. It's with the every time. Yeah,
Every
yeah.
time
It's
you
gonna
think it's
get
gonna
you.
be different.
It's gonna get you. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, I think for me too. Like, I would say like upset of this team. Like, if I'm just looking at like where they can finish, is like they can. I could see them finishing in that like 6 to 8 realm. Like, but it also would not shock me as well to that they don't make anything. Just based on like how this team is built. Like, they might
Yeah,
do that. They might surprise them. They might surprise us. But I'm not banking on it. Like, I'm not like hoping for that. Like, I'm
yeah. I
pretty grounded in where I feel that they'll end up.
Yeah, I had fun watching them for like the first for like half of the game. Like there was that long stretch where it was Wiggins in the bench that was Spo left that lineup in way too long for anybody's sanity. And then the fourth quarter, obviously they fell apart. They were getting bludgeoned on the boards and the size and running ISO. They were so gassed. But
Yeah,
like there were some things I really liked in that game, and I was having fun watching it, and they got to iron out a lot.
yeah.
So like I could see like I do see a world where they get into the top 6 seed, and I'll be surprised, and I even enjoy watching some of the basketball played. But like for the overall, like the
Yeah.
fan reaction, the fandom has been tired, and rightfully so. The last
100% they should be.
three was it is it yeah the last three regular seasons have been a brutal watch, and they have not
100%.
changed much. And the philosophy, they still are banking on some of these guys taking a leap and not doing anything other substantial ways to help them. You have guys, you're going into a year or two of Tyler Hero having to play point guard, and he's out of position,
Out of
and
position again, yet again, out of
yeah.
position. Yeah, yeah,
Like how many times do you have to talk about that with Miami
yeah,
Heat of out of
yeah,
position guys having to be uncomfortable spots, and
yeah.
like it's not the young guys being uncomfortable spots, it's the guys who who they are.
You know who they are, and you know how they react to these situations. Like,
Yeah.
we've been through it. Like, yeah, exactly the same way. I feel like I don't have to say anything about Tyler and Bam's situation because it hasn't changed.
Yeah.
It hasn't changed. I haven't done anything to make their lives easier. So there's nothing new to say about
Yeah.
it.
I love Bam. I love Bam. If they traded him, I'd be fine. I'm
That would
fine
be
with it.
fun.
I just want to be I just don't want to hear the fans anymore.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
it would signify a direction at least.
Yeah, 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 100%, 100%. The rest of the East, I guess the only other team that I think can maybe make a little shock here is the Bucks, and that's just based on Giannis being an MVP
Yeah.
type player. Very little to do with what their roster construction looks like right now. I'm not too high on them, but just because Giannis is Giannis, and he always wills his team into a playoff position, so I see them finishing in that role as well, maybe playing spoils to some.
Yeah.
Um,
They're like an annoying team because Kevin Porter Jr. For
oh yeah,
as much as he shouldn't be in the NBA,
yeah.
he is a really talented player. And like you said, Giannis. What do you think about Orlando? I'm curious in your thoughts.
Oh, Orlando. Yeah, I see. I didn't get to watch I was at a JID concert last night, so I didn't get to I didn't get to watch the Heat game. But in general, Orlando, I really like the Bane trade. I really like that for them. I thought that really opens up stuff for Paolo, stuff for Franz. I still am uneasy with their front court. Like, Wendell doesn't really do it for me. Like, I think he's kind of maxed out what he can be.
Yeah.
I really like Suggs as their guard. I still feel like they're a little offensively shallow. With Franz and Paolo just being like your two, like, I feel like one of them just need to be a little bit better on the perimeter shooting wise, for that to really, really click in the way. Like, I feel like at some point that duo is gonna reach its limit, and they're gonna have to make a decision there. But outside of that, defense is great. I like the way that they play. I love their coach as well. I love how passionate he is and how he always gets them up for whatever game they have. But yeah, I like the Magic. I think they will comfortably be in a top 4 position. And being that home court. See, the thing with the Magic and the thing with like Detroit. So I feel like Detroit is kind of like in that Magic situation from a few years back, where Magic kept kind of like poking in, but they weren't fully taking that step. I feel like Magic now have taken that step where they're solidified themselves as a top team, and they had a good playoff run last year. went to 7, I believe, in their series. So yeah, I'm pretty high on the Magic.
Yeah, I think I also was a big fan of Desmond Bain trade. I've liked a lot of their picks. Tristan De Silva had
I
a
like that
nice
stuff. Yeah,
game.
the silver I really do like too. Yeah,
Jace Richardson, I think he's going to be a big piece of their offense and role playing once he gets acclimated. I'm just curious about Paulo. I think like what you said about Wendell. I also like there's still something about him. I want a little bit more out of him. There was
yeah,
like
yeah.
he gives you a lot of glimpses. Like I want him to round it out. But
Hmm.
at this point he might just be who he is.
Yeah,
And Paulo, like I came away watching him like wishing there was more as well. Like
yeah,
I feel like he settles a little bit too much for a guy as physically strong as him. Like
yeah.
he shows up in the playoffs. Like he's uh, a
Feisty
monster.
competitor.
He's a
Yeah.
monster. He's so talented, but I feel like he still needs a little bit more, and I'm not sure if if we're ever going to see that.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, that's the thing with him. Like his playmaking has come a ways too. Like he's become a better playmaker,
And I think
especially
with the
from like
more
those high
shooters,
posts.
it'll be easier.
It'll be easier for him. Like, yeah, my fear with him has always been that he turns more into like he needs to be less mellowy. Like in my
Yes,
mind, like
yes,
he has that comparison. Like he does have like that jab step game, that mid post game, but he just has to be a little less mellowy at times, and I think he'll be all right. But yeah, physicality, he needs to embrace it a little bit more. He's good at getting to the line, but his free throw shooting has always been an issue. So
mm-hmm.
that needs to spark back up again, and just taking the right shots and trusting the process a little bit more. But yeah, I just feel like I don't think Franz is just a right wingmate for him. I feel like Bane is a natural fit for that. So I really wonder how that like progresses because they also can't pay all these guys. At some point, they're
Yeah,
gonna have to make a decision on who they're gonna move, and I would assume that they choose Paolo since I was like their top draft pick and all that type of stuff. So
yeah,
it'll be interesting to see how they move along with that team. I
yeah.
wonder if they could be our Indiana of last year, where they can like sneak their way into like a very deep playoff run. I wonder if they're ready for that, or if they
Mhm.
need a year to get to that position.
I think like we wait real quick to touch on what you said about the making a decision between Franz and Paulo. My hot take, I think Bane is going to make them decide between one of them two quicker too cuz like what they paid for Bane
Yeah,
is going to some of the chips have been cashed already and
yeah,
you need to make some moves so if they don't get make a deeper run this year, they don't get out of the first round or and like compete well in the second, like it might be a mix up coming.
yeah.
But yeah, I think Detroit. I'm still really worried about them when
Me
Cade
too.
isn't on ball,
Me
and
too.
like I want Asar to be that guy, but I don't know if they have enough shooting around them.
No,
I
they
need,
got Duncan, and he
yeah,
couldn't hit anything.
yeah, that's the ebbs and
That's
flows
Dunk. That's a
of
Dunk.
Duncan.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
Duncan experience. Yeah.
truly, truly is. But yeah, like Tobias is still there. Tobias is solid, but like you need a little bit more to take that next step. And I feel like I don't think they did enough.
No, me
Um,
too. I was hoping this offseason that they'll be one of the teams that were just like striking to do something. Like even like getting involved in like the KD stuff would have been interesting to me, just to get like that piece to kind of push them. I know they had eyes for Booker,
yeah,
but that just doesn't seem realistic, especially at this point. That seems to be the one guy the Suns are going to hold on to. So
Brandon, you know what? What's the obvious thing that they ignored for Duncan? Norman Powell was right there for nothing.
Right there, that would have
How
been
much
excellent
would
for
that
them.
have
Yeah,
helped them?
yeah.
And like I think if the Heat do that, like look at that, like teams like that are gonna pay a first round pick to try to make a move, and you
Norman
might,
is worth a first.
yeah, I think
For
so.
yeah, for a contender,
He's a
for a team that wants to
really
win right
good
now.
player.
Yeah, he's worth it first. He's definitely worth
Shit,
it
the Clippers might give up first.
for him back. Give him his back.
Like, hey, we missed that shooting.
Yeah, they might they kind of need him. That was a really bizarre one. I don't know why the Clippers, because they got who in that trade? They got John Collins, right? They were trying to
Yeah,
bolster their front court in
yeah,
that.
they knew they were getting Beal, so they were
Yeah, so
okay
we'll
with that.
replace. But Beal, isn't he hurt again? Like I don't know.
He usually is.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Last thing before we head out here, do you have like kind of running out of time? We'll just choose one rookie each. That we're just watching this year. I'll let you go first.
Ooh. I love Dylan Harper. But I think his situation has like just too many cooks with the kitchen. I wanted Dylan to go to a team where he have the ball a little bit more. So I'm really gonna watch some VJ.
Oh, that was mine.
VJ is a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I'll pass it on to you because there's other guys I love too. Jeremiah Fears, we talked a
yeah.
little bit
Fears, I really
about.
like his game too. Yeah,
He's so fun. I think he could be very special. So young. He's like one of the youngest players in the class. He looks like a baby face assassin, just slices through the defense anyways.
yeah. I love his game.
But them two, Jace Richardson, like if you haven't watched Jace Richardson, like just play. He is like the ideal player. He just knows where to be, moves the ball, takes the shots when he should, gives it up when he should. Like just one of the smartest players and professional players that like plays like it all the time. And I like play so hard. He would have been a fan favorite. He's going to be a fan favorite in Orlando. I'm absolutely confident of it. Yeah, man. And I'm interested in Cooper. Honestly, I think Cooper getting to be a point guard early on, I think it'll do a lot of great for him, like developing all that reps. It's going to be tough. He had a rough first night.
Yeah.
There's going to be stretches where it sucks, but I hope Dallas sticks to it because I think that's going to be great for him. I say young guys should have more on the table than they can handle. And as long as they're still doing what they're good at, like maintain that confidence. But I think he's could be a very special player. That defense could be very special. Obviously, first night, notwithstanding.
yeah.
Wemby's a fucking Thanos out there.
Like Wemby made AD look like a civilian. So like, that's gonna happen. That's your welcome to the NBA moment for Cooper. But staying on Dallas, because we didn't really touch on them too much. How do you feel about their outlook this season? I know Kyrie's going to be hurt for majority of this season. He might come back before the playoffs or something like that. But do you think they can make a playoff run this year, or do you think they're going to be in a gap year with their injuries?
I think the bottom of the West is kind of always recycling. Like guys, teams fall out for a year or a couple years and come back in. So it wouldn't surprise me if they make a run. I think they have a nice core, but it really depends on Cooper in that instance. And I like some of their pieces. They have some volatile pieces with some high variance like Clay still, PJ Washington as well. And they have some D'Angelo Russell is, of course, if Kyrie can get back and hit the ground running, if they're like within distance, I could see them definitely making a run and being like an annoying team to deal with.
It would be super annoying. That defense is going to be annoying.
Yeah, and you get to let Cooper gets to play off ball and learn and take turns, and then you can still play through AD a little bit as well. Like that'd be a scary team, and if they have enough shooting that falls, like that's a tough out.
Yeah, I think so too. And touching on what you said about just giving a player a lot to handle when they're young, is like, you give Cooper all these point guard responsibilities, and then you take that away from him, and then he's just like free. He'll feel so free and so comfortable. I think when Kyrie returns, or if they get another guard throughout the season. So VJ was the rookie I wanted to talk about a little bit, but I love like how he plays, how hard he plays. He wants to win. He was talking trash in like this first summer league game to like another player. Like that is the stuff I love. I love the way that he attacks the basket in transition, and even in the half court, he seems to be able to get to that as well. The jumper, I think, was a question mark coming into the league, but it seems to be holding up just fine. I think being next to a guy like PG, like just to learn off of him, like I don't expect PG to play so much, but just him being on the bench and being there, even Kyle just being a guide for him, I think will serve him well as well. But VJ's a guy I think I'm gonna end up watching. I'm gonna watch a lot more Sixers than
you're telling really me want to. Maxi,
I was gonna say Maxi and VJ is just a duo that
and
that
McCain,
really pans in
when he gets back.
When he gets back, that trio is just like that fits extremely well as a 1-2-3. We talked about how Castle, Fox, and Harper doesn't fit in that way. I think this trio over here would definitely pan out well.
Yeah, I think they have with McCain and Maxi, they run into a little bit of a too small of a lineup, and a too small of a backcourt. But if they can, if Embiid ever gets healthy, which is a huge if, they can balance some of that out. And VJ is very strong. So, and I think VJ looks like Jimmy Butler in the face so much that I can't ever dismiss it.
Yeah.
But he just plays so damn hard
He
and,
plays so hard, man.
slashes and
Yeah,
hustles, and like I'm excited. Like
yeah,
I'm really excited for his growth and development. I think Nurse is a good defensive coach at least,
yeah.
and I'm really interested in that team where it's more Maxi centered and VJ, and then McCain when he comes back, and we'll see what the rest of the veterans bring. But that VJ is so fun, man.
Yeah, he's so much. Like, if there's something about me, is like I'm gonna like a slasher. Like I will I will give them the benefit of the doubt to the end of time. So I love his game. I'm gonna keep watching his game. Is there anything else to touch on before we head out? I think
just shameless plugs, I guess.
Yeah. Go for it.
Follow me on all our platforms, IBE FrankyG, FRANKY. I stream on Twitch myself. I stream Tuesday, Thursdays, and Sundays. I'm on Instagram, YouTube as well. I stream Pokemon games, I've video games and stuff. Currently playing Legends ZA. It's been a lot of fun. But I also pod Miami Heat Beat. If you're interested in Heat news, we like to goof around. We just did a breast cancer donation stream for the first opening night. We're a little short of our goal so far. So if you want to come in and help that out, one of our favorite people on our part of our community, his wife just was diagnosed with breast cancer. She's luckily going through some treatments and everything seems okay, but we still want to support our ladies who have suffered through this and need the support. So please, if you can make a donation, just stop by Miami Heat Beat on Twitter, on Instagram, and you can find the link there. But yeah, I appreciate what Brandon does, what Playbook Sports does. You guys are a lot of fun. I just want to give you a shout out to you guys, man. You guys are great content, and make sure you guys are following them. Don't just listen. Don't just make sure you like, subscribe, and follow.
Yeah. Thank you. And yeah, please check out all the Heat Beat stuff, especially the breast cancer awareness podcast I just did. Like, yeah, amazing cause. We want to make sure everyone's healthy, and just it's good stuff over there. Franky does great work. Love talking ball with him. This has been the NBA Hangout presented by Playbook Sports. You can follow us on Twitter at the NBA Hangout. You can follow me at BJY93_. Follow Franky, as he said, at IBFrankyG here, Instagram, Twitch, everywhere. Make sure you check out his content. Make sure you like and subscribe us. Thank y'all for hanging out with us. Peace.